Isa impilo yami emhleni yonke nomusa wakhe ongcinile ngisaqhubeka nokumkhonza nokumkholwa emsebenzini yonke yakhe emihle. Namhlanje sizofundisana ngesifundo esithi understanding and handling a teenage child lapha kwi-children ministry yethu. Sizofunda kwincwadi yomshumayeli chapter 11 verse 9 to 10 no chapter 12 verse 1 to 2. Chapter 11 ke uthi Ecclesiastes umshumayeli, rejoice, O young man, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and in the sight of your eyes. But know that for all this God will bring you into judgment. Therefore, remove sorrow from your heart and put away evil from your flesh. For childhood and youth are vanity. Chapter 12, verse 1 to 2. Do not let excitement of youth cause you to forget your Creator. Honor Him in your youth before you grow old and say, life is not pleasant anymore. Remember Him before the light of the sun, moon, and stars is dim to your old eyes, and the rain clouds continually darken your sky. Bawethu othandekayo, izwi lakho liphilile linamandla. Siyabonga Nkosi selifundiwe. Sisizeke Nkosi usikhanyisele ngalo. ngoKristu Nkosi yethu. Amen. Ngithanda sibonisane ngale ndaba sizohlukanisa sike sichaze kuqala ukubaleka kokuthi si-understande ukuthi kwi-stage sokukhula lapho sithethe ngendaba ye-life transition of different stages in the person's life. Sitshilo ukuthi each stage si-evolve, sinama-different expectation and experiences. And kukhona kule stage esibaleke kakhulu esisibiza ngokuba yi-teenage stage. Lapho stage esisukela lapho umntwana eqala ukuthi understand izinto from the day or age 10, kodwa even below now abantwana bathini up to age 19. Indaba enkulu ufuna sibuke ukuthi the cutting age is up to age 19, which is a very interesting age. eBhayibhelini elithi iBhayibheli uNkulunkulu ngesikhathi uIsrael esehlane wathatha abantwana abana 19 ukubheka phansi, everyone from 20 years upward akazange akwazi uba aphume ehlane. That means uNkulunkulu was focusing to the teenagers, and teenagers ngabo abadla ifa lokungena ezweni lesithembiso, njengoba isho njalo incwadi yeNumeri laphayana chapter 32 verse 11. Very interesting ukuthi uNkulunkulu une-purpose ngaye umuntu omtsha, kakhulukazi efuna ukuthi abe ne-grounding right. What is a teenager? I-teenagers i-language efike i-confuse kakhulukazi ebandleni, i-language efike inga-understand. No, si-stage. Teenager, there's nothing wrong with a teenager. Si-stage ubani afikelela kuso umntwana afikelela kuso, and this stage sithanda ukuba nzima kakhulu ngoba si-stage lapho silahlekelwa kakhulu ngabantwana bethu. A teenager, they lack knowledge about issues affecting, and lacking of knowledge about issues as affect our teenagers will result in problems, and it will also cause strife in relationship between parents and young people, abazali nabantwana. And therefore it is important to prepare both the parents and the teachers to understand who teenagers are, bazokwazi uba manager ngendlela ezoba right. Masibuka ke i-teenager lena It's a very complex stage. Esibizwa ngokuthi is 3 in 1. It's a 3 in 1 person, which tend to be confusing on itself. The first part is that a teenager is somebody who imagines herself by own opinion. Lo mntwana uzibuka ngendlela yokuthi azibuke ngendlela yakhe from himself, and then whereas azibuke nguye lo muntu anguye udefine uself wakhe ngendlela engenguye lo muntu anguye, is detaching from self. Okwesibini is une-imagine, is imagining self by opinions of others, hence kulula ukuthi abe easily influenced and at move astray, adonseleke kwindawo ezimlahlayo ngoba people around him or her ngabo abadefine indlela yokuphila kwakhe. I-stage sosithathu kasithetha ngalo 3 in 1, a teenager struggles with accepting the real self. Uba detached, akakwazi understand, it often refuses to accept a real self, ufuna uzifanisa nabanye abantu. This requires a very close guidance ukwenzela ukuthi akwazi usizakala kakhulu, and this is where we lose them. Ngoba now they don't want to come to reality. They like to live a life of delusion, ukuzikhohlisa, a denial of the truth, bengafuni uku-admit ukuthi bangobani. In their adjusting, then they become the misfits, bangafiti kuzo zonke izinto ngoba abafuna uzi-understand ukuthi manje bakwesi stage abakuso bafuna uba yilento bangayi. They don't want to come to terms ukuthi bazingane, hence bengafiti ku-Sunday school, because they don't want to understand ukuthi afita la, bengafiti naku-youth ngoba vele abekho ready, abafuna understand. This is caused by a number of pressures ezenzeka empilweni yabo, because in their transition stage kunezinto efuna sizi-understande ezokuthi njengoba bengena kwi-transition stage njena, their physical transition, ukushintsha kwinguqu eyenzekayo kubo physical nje babekhula nje, ibenza ukuthi babe ne-high consumption yokudla, badle kakhulu ngoba ama-hormones abo abadala ukuthi benze kanjena. And this causes problem ke ngoku nendaba yokuthi nama-siblings nabaphila nabo ngoba bona manje uyothola ukuthi they don't have this thing of sharing, equal sharing ayisebenzi nje kubo. And then loo nto le yenza ukuthi bangukuthi babe ne-entitlement babona they have to be given i-attention. Eyesibini indaba yokuthi they tend to be very clumsy. When you get to the place of a teenager, you'll find things all over, and this makes them fight with their parents. Hence, you're told about teenagers, they are in fight with their parents, wherever they are. They may do even this elsewhere, not necessarily in their home, but you find it most where they stay, and they don't even want you to get in because they are in this stage. And then they also have a tendency of not paying attention and serious about anything, and that makes them to be conflicting with a lot of teachers, because teachers do want attention. They want children to pay attention, and then in their lack of paying attention, and then they tend to conflict with the teachers. So the teenagers is a very difficult stage to manage. That requires good understanding, because if you don't understand, you will have perpetual problems. Ongakwazi ukuthi udile nazo. Babalekile ke manje ukuthi thina ke from the spiritual point of view, kubalekile ukuthi we drive them ekubeni ukuthi sibafundise. They need to be taught about the supremacy of God, even in their challenges they are facing. Hence, Sunday school becomes a very important educational institution in the church to teach these children about Christian living and about the standard that they need to follow in their life and so on. Sibuyele ke manje kuma basics. I want to talk about 3 basics. The basic one, yokuthi the child need to be taught responsibility at a very early stage, responsible living. As we read from the second letter of Paul to Timothy, chapter 3, verse 15, siyazi lapho ukuthi uPaul ufundisa uTimothy ngendaba yokubaleka kwemibhalo emsizile ukuthi ebuncaneni bakhe yamkhulisa. Okuphambili ukuthi ke base siyilocate ke le ndaba ngolapha besifunde khona u-Ecclesiastes uMshumayeli chapter 11 uverse 10 9 and 10. The emphasis lana is on children to know their need, that they need to seek God at an early life. Umshumayela ufundisa uxwayisa umntwana ukuthi makafundiswe at an early stage ukwenzela ukuthi ama-challenges afacana nawo, even the influences of teenage life, should not derail the child, take the child away. They need to be taught about God from the early life. There are things they need to know that zikhona izinto they can do at a particular age, but zikhona izinto they can't do in their childhood stage. Hence, they need to learn obedience. They need to learn obedience is taught at an early stage. You cannot change somebody emdala uthi uzomfundisa ukuthi alalele ebengafuni ukulalela esemncane. Yikho lokho kukhona lithi bagotywa bebasha. Ibaleke kakhulu leyo nto ukuthi afundiswe ukulalela, afundiswe ukuthatha umyalezo, afundise ukwazi uno no right, afundiswe ukwazi ukulinda izinto ziyalindwa ngesikhathi esifaneleyo, because in their quest for independence, in their quest to be recognized as people abakhulile, they tend to not receive or obedient. Leyo nto leyo ilimaze impilo yabo. Ithi ke le iBhayibhile lapha kumshumayeli ithetha kamnandi ngendaba ukuthi kwezinye indawo zithetha ngokuthi life is meaningless, ithetha ngendaba ye-vanity. Ndithanda lapha King James ithetha ngendaba yokuthi the life for childhood and youth is vanity. What do we mean by this vanity? It means meaningless. If life is not driven by God, it's meaningless. And if life is not having a purpose, it is meaningless. Meaningless level yomntwana at this level. I-challenge ekhona ke funeka si-understand kakhulukazi thina abazali yokuthi lo mntwana njengokuba kuthiwa njena i-life at youth, a childhood, i-vanity, which ukuthi ngamanye amazwi i-concept ebonisa ukuthi uprioritize things that are not important. Yikho lokhu ekwaziyo ukuthi angathatha i-5,000 ayothenga amateki endaweni yokuthi angakwazi ukwenza into ethile, angasplenda i-10,000 eyispendela into engasumakhela ikamva, kodwa kuye ibe into ebalulekileyo ayibone i-priority. Yikho lento kufuneka afundiswe i-value of life, ukuthi what are things that are of value in life. What are things ekubalulekileyo understand ukuthi ezi zinto zingalinda lezi as your priority at this point in time. Kubalulekile ukuthi understand youth at teen stage is concerned about the outlook. They are concerned about indlela ababukeka ngayo. They don't value anything in life. If it's not going to make them look good, it's not important. Even they like to eat junk because it appeals to their senses. They are more sense-driven. They are not mind-driven. They are not thinking from the heart. They think outward. They look at things in the outward look, and they like things that's temporal. This stage requires strict guidance. If we're going to guide at this stage, kukhona chances zokuthi angakhukuliseka ngendlela emangalisayo. Kubaleke kakhulu ukuthi we have this joint exercise ekubeni ukuthi umntwana akhuliswe at this particular stage, kubanjiswane kakhulu ekukhuliseni kwakhe lo mntwana ukwenzela ukuthi leyo nto izokwenza umuntu nje ukuthi amoldeke ngendlela right. This is where moral molding is very important, to avoid ukuthi bathi live a life of regret. lapho bezothi khona babe namazwi abathetha, if I did not do ABC, I would not be the person I am. If I did ABC, I would be a better person. They need to be taught to accept themselves. They need to be taught to reconnect with themselves. Because remember, the teenage stage makes them lose who they are. They lose their self-identity. They want to be like other people. They think about celebrities, and they don't want to be really accepting who they are, even where they are coming from. Bangafuna uzassociate namakhaya abo, bangafuna uzassociate nabazali babo, bangafuna uzassociate nesimo abaphila phansi kwaso, because they are living a life of delusion. They need to be assisted. This is a very stage esinzima kakhulu, even umntwana eku-Sunday school ufumana ubunzima kakhulu ekubeni ukuthi if usiyibuka kahle, ungayibuka kahle le ndaba uma ufunda incwadi Gospel of Luke chapter 15, ujonga lapha unyana wolahleko, ukuthi unyana wolahleko, the lost son, wenza ama-choices. Funa abafundiswe, this is the time to teach the child to make the right choices. Wenza ama-wrong choices. Ama-wrong choices lawo amlead ekubeni ukuthi athi leave the comfort of the home, athi leave the comfort of being controlled and guided by the parents, athi leave the comfort of being cared for at home, ineeds zakhe zonke zi-covered. Wahamba, and then he went away and squandered all his inheritance, ngoba wenza ama-wrong choices. Utsho ukuthi i-background yakhe wayena lento yokuthi ene-demands zokuthi I'm entitled. Entitlement mentality, it destroys the child's potential. Ekubeni ukuthi ongangumuntu ene-future right empilweni yakhe. So kubalekile kakhulu ke ukuthi sibasihlangabeze labantwana, sibacoache kakhulukazi at this particular. This shows i-role yomzali ne-role kathisha ekubeni ukuthi now there is war ekubeni bakubuildwe lo mntwana, because umntwana akalalela umzali ekhaya nasesikoleni futhi une-attitude yongalaleli, and kubalulekile ukuthi ukhumbule ukuthi at school he need to be submitting to learn to be the better person and so on. And then another important basic efanele sijonge lana i-basic is the parent-teacher-child relationship that I want us to look at, because it's a very important relationship that we need to be considering uma sijonga le ndaba yokwakha understanding and handling a teenage child. Kubalulekile ukuthi understand aba bantu, these key stakeholders, the parent, the teacher, and the child. And these are the people that we need to make sure we win their understanding in ensuring. Now, a teenage stage, ibe si-stage esinzima ekubalulekileyo ukuthi umzali no-teacher understand. Ibizwa ngokuthi si-stage ekuthiwa these are the years of emancipation. That means umntwana lapha isi-stage lapha athi striving to freeing themselves or freeing himself or herself from the control of others and from the control of the parents. Ufuna ukuzimela, uclaim ukuthi yena uready ukuzimela, uclaim ukuthi yena uyazi, uclaim ukuthi manje yikho lento kulo process yokuba emancipation tend to distance from the parents and the home. Uyathanda kakhulu ukuzula, yikho lento umoya wokuzula umningi kwi-age le ye-teenagers. The wandering spirit is taking control of the child, is moving all over, likes to be sleeping out, liking to be sleeping over to friends, like the parties. This is why now we need to inculcate the culture of understand umntwana ukuthi even if ephumile kubalekile abuye azoba kwi-comfort of the home, azifile comfortable and complete at home rather than out. But the urge and the drive engaphakathi kwakhe imdrivele ukuthi azibone yena engabelongi la ekhaya kumnandi, outside home azabona ukuthi zingcono i-advices azithola outside. Unale delusion, unasi stage sokuzikhohlisa angafuni ukuthi come to terms with i-reality. Is wanting to be free from the parents i-control yabo, is wanting to be yet this person is not ready even to own anything, is under somebody's care, cannot own, cannot understand, and this is where we experience a lot of teenage pregnancy. A teenage pregnancy, it comes in at this particular time when the child is seen to be claim ukuthi mdala, I want to experience things against, uithanda kakhulu ukuthi athi work against something that is said to not to be right. You want to explore and experience ukuthi lento azoprove a point. They are the type of people abafuna prove a point in their life. They seek freedom and they want to explore possibilities of solving their own problem. Bahlala bengabantu bekhuluma ilanguage ukuthi no, I don't have any problem, there's no problem, I'm fine, all is good. And whereas all is going bad, when all is good, you must receive it very well and carefully, because that all is good is actually all is not going right. They also search, they are in search of being independent, and they want to have this self-identity. They want to be independent. They detach themselves from those who love them. They detach from things that build them. They detach from themselves from things that will actually are of value to their life, and they refuse parental guidance, which tend to frustrate parents. Parents are very frustrated by this child at a teenage stage. And also teachers are very frustrated because the relationship between the teacher and the parents tend to be frustrated by this kind of child who does not seem to be fitting. Is a misfit at home, misfit in the church, misfit everywhere, misfit at school. This child does not want to obey anything. The teenagers always seek ways to break the set rules. Esikolweni njena bayazi nje nokubekwa ama-rules ukuthi abangenzi inwele, abaphotha inwele, they do the same. Uma kuthiwa njena abagqoke, they want to do the opposite, so that they want to break the law. They want to draw this attention of being attended for the breaking of the rules. They enjoy breaking the rules. It is a norm to them. It is their culture. It's something that they enjoy. And then if you don't understand this, you will be chasing after them and trying to break. And then this broken relationship then between the parents, teachers, and the teenagers result in a chaotic situation. And that chaotic situation is the one that need to be very much controlled, because when we reach the stage of being chaotic, when there is no order, it's when we need to jump and sit in still order, because if we lose, we let things go without control, we are going to be having a problem of unruly adults. We're going to have a problem of people who do not want to pay to take orders. We are going to have a problem of irresponsible adults who do not want to obey anybody because they don't know in their vocabulary the word no. All they know is that they are entitled and they are capable of doing things. And then this broken relationship is lead again lost generation. When we have the lost generation, we are having a nation that is not going anywhere. When we have the lost generation, we are having young people with potential but who are not having capabilities. Young people with potential but who are not mentored. Young people with potential but who are not listening to anybody. Young people with potential but who are not helping anybody. Young people with potential but who are not helping even themselves, who are not good, who are danger to themselves. Young people with potential that is lost because their unruly behavior makes them be belong to the lost generation. Young people who do not respect their parents, young people who do not take orders from anyone, young people who do not take care. And these people, you can see this lost generation. Lost generation, I buzz is a values to preserve. Then we need to fight against this. Hence, we have Sunday school. Sunday school is an educational institution that will mend those broken relationships. When parents fail to do something, and we know that where there is Christ, these children can be won to Christ, and then they can be changed, because God can change anything. When everything has failed, when parents' guidance has failed, when the society has failed, when everything has failed, when they meet Jesus, we need to preach Jesus in their life at an early stage so that they can understand the value of God in their life. Hence, ibaluleke kakhulu indaba ye-Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Chapter 12 verse 1 and 2 ukhuluma indaba ebaluleke kakhulu ukuthi ufundeka ngalendlela ke sibuyela back laphana uthi chapter 12 uthi don't let the excitement of your youth cause you to forget your creator. Honor him in your youth before you grow old. Is bringing this thing. We need to instill to their minds that a life without God is full of strife and hopelessness. Life in God is pleasant, imnandi, and is satisfying and complete. A life, we need to appeal and counsel them that they seek God in the early days of their life, so that they get the good foundation. That's why Sunday school then ought to be a non-discriminational institution. Teachers need to be very careful and cater for everybody, because some of these children have missed the chance to get grounding and background in their home. So this is where now they're being built. Role to play. Then the last thing that we need to be looking at, briefly, which we are going to continue more on, I want to introduce it now, is to know common faith problem that the teenagers experiences. Challenges abafesana nazo kwindlela yabo yokukholwa. One of these, I'm just going to mention two. One is they suffer from having coldness of faith. Labantwana bafikela kwistage labo manje ukuthi bebekade bevutha kodwa bafikelele ukwehla ukuphola kokukholwa kokumthanda uNkulunkulu. They often afraid even to talk about their relationship about Jesus, with Jesus Christ, to others. The social media has overtaken their strong faith in God, and being serious about salvation. They start to question the validity of the Bible and the faith of their parents. And when they were even brought about by their own parents, they question and have a disbelief in their parents, which is very strange and interesting. And you need to not to be frustrated by that. Research has shown ukuthi the stage abantwana abafikelela kuso and into aba-experienceayo ukuthi they question even the validity of the Bible, and hence they tend to be taken away by non-Christian based kind of faith, and because now it appeals to them. And that is very important to understand. Esibini point yokuthi they disengage from partaking in church activities, and this is very important ukuthi see understand leyo nto ukuthi tendency abanayo lokuthi they tend to disengage. They are reluctant to participate in Sunday school classes, claiming ukuthi bona now they are no longer belonging to the Sunday school, whereas this is where the decline in their spirituality make them lose interest. And then because now there are things that are pressures that are around them, they make them lose interest. Now thina-ke sibabona labantwana umntwana bebekade bekhuthele kodwa manje abasakhuthele. It's just because it is the nature of the teenagers that they reach a stage whereby they are reluctant to participate in the church activities and spiritually. They need church that is supportive, church environment that is supportive, that tend to be looking into their case, and where they participate in the church environment, they like a worshiping style kind of church. May God bless you. I hope with these lessons, God will help you towards building the child and understanding the teenagers. God bless you. Amen.